You're listening to the Betoota Advocate's weekly news wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5. Welcome back to the weekly Betoota Advocate News Bulletin. Everyone's basically dropped the tools by now, unless you're a frontline worker, an underpaid frontline worker who can't afford to live in a major metropolitan centre in Australia, and have really had to risk your life for the last 2 years making sure that our entire economy and society can continue operating at least on some level.
Or you're a public servant, a political staffer who's now a Noosa, Byron, Yamba or Portsea or Mollymook, now white-anting your colleagues from the beach.
Yeah, that Omicron
That counts as working.
Yeah, that Omicron variant really has ruined the Christmas plans for a lot of health workers, hasn't it?
Absolutely, and a lot of people from Newcastle apparently.
Fuck, they go out in Newey.
Yeah, they do.
They're all
200
caught
people
up.
infected.
Don't wash their hands in Newcastle.
200 people infected in the Argyle House nightclub, formerly known as Fanny's.
Yeah.
The pioneers of the VCR, vodka, coke and raspberry.
Vodka, coke and raspberries didn't keep them immune, did it?
No.
No, you know, the last time I was down there in Newey, I was on the vodka, coke and raspberries, but ordering them over the bar, obviously being from the Diamantina, a VCR here is a vodka, coke and rum. Yeah. But down there, they got it wrong and they put some sort of cordial in my drink.
The blood of the steelworks, they call it.
Lost in translation, but anyway.
Anyway, for those of you that are on holidays or at work, wherever you are, thank you for tuning in. And let's get on with it. What were the biggest news stories this week, Wendell?
Well, first up, one from earlier on in the week, and Mum threw the first Christmas grenade by asking the in-laws to email proof of vaccination with their RSVP to family lunch.
Yes, and this local mother did this by sending an explosive email concerning vax status to all members of her family and extended family. And in that email that outlined upcoming Christmas plans, it's understood that Betoota Pond's mother of two, Sue Miller, has asked all members of her family, of the Brooks/Miller/Jenkins family, to email proof of their double jab status if they plan on attending her Christmas Day lunch. And you got to see a copy of this email, didn't you, Clancy?
Yes, I did. In fact, an extract of the email read, "Hi to all. 'Tis the jolly season. I'd like to remind everyone to email me their dietary requirements and a copy of each member's vax certificate if they wish to attend either Christmas or Boxing Day lunch. Thanks." A blatant shot across the bow towards Miss Miller's brother-in-law and prominent Rockhampton anti-vaxxer Wayne Jenkins. The email is believed to have set bombs off in multiple family WhatsApp chats across the country. Sometimes I envy you, Errol, having no family whatsoever.
Yeah, well, when you lose them to MI6 and to Mossad, it kind of takes the sting out of it, I guess. But what else is making news, Wendell?
A simpler lifestyle, hey, Errol. Well, it's a story that Clancy alluded to at the top of the bulletin there. It's, fuck it, I reckon that can wait till after Christmas, says Nation's Suits.
In a move described by many as unnecessary and kind of irresponsible, the Australian government has today formally acknowledged this week to be the first annual national "It's too close to Christmas to do any actual work" week. In a press conference, the government announced its plans to formally commemorate this momentous week in which literally no one Australian achieves anything of note, and most people spend their work days watching YouTube videos of animals falling asleep.
Yes, and the Prime Minister said, and I quote, "Many people know the importance of Christmas to our great nation, but perhaps even more important is the age-old tradition of pretending to do work in the week before Christmas, but actually just, day drinking on a Tuesday. This is an issue that is important to the heart of voters. And such, I have decided it is very current and very important to me too. Until someone from my party disagrees with me, then I'm out."
Good for some, eh? Now, our next story is about an exhausted local silly seasoner revealing that she actually wouldn't mind being a close contact right now.
Yes, as her synapses continue to fire barbs around her skull, Betoota Heights woman Ashley Gleeson is in a world of hurt today. So much hurt that she wouldn't even mind having to isolate for a little bit. That's what she's confirmed.
Yeah, this comes after her fourth night out this week during what has been a La Nina-esque silly season, something which is nothing short of torture for a self-described introvert such as her.
Tell you what though, be careful for what you wish for, because she might be spending Christmas alone on the couch eating delivered McDonald's that was left at the letterbox.
So if they keep letting these dirty southerners up here, that's a fair chance. Now we're going to head to Melbourne for our next story. It's about a Naarm woman who suddenly stopped using Aboriginal place names when she started discussing her property portfolio.
A local she-her settler living on unceded Naarm land has momentarily dropped her performative political correctness while browsing potential real estate opportunities in her gorgeous colonial-era Brunswick terrace house. As a high-income Australian Arts Grants Coordinator, Allegra Goldstein, 37, knows the language she uses at work and on social media is integral to making sure she isn't accused of being a rich white girl living on stolen land and living off the rental payments of the working class.
It is for this reason that she only ever uses Indigenous terms of reference when referring to the major imperialist modern settlements known as Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. Her home city, Melbourne, is known as Naarm on all of her email signatures and panel events and whatnot. Sydney is Gadigal land and Brisbane is Meanjin. She doesn't know what Aboriginal people call Adelaide or Perth, but she's fairly certain that Darwin is an Aboriginal word. Anyway.
However, just like her militant policing of gender pronouns, Allegra's selfless commitment to the regeneration of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander language is something that she can turn on and off when she needs to. For example, on Christmas Day, she knows it's very important to make sure her 89-year-old grandfather knows that we don't say Ayers Rock anymore. But when she's talking to her financial advisor or a 23-year-old real estate agent from Toorak, it's completely okay to be a bit more withdrawn in her solidarity with the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities that she pretends to be friends with on Twitter.
But Allegra says she usually keeps this, property portfolio stuff to herself out of fear of ending up in, the Business Insider top 40 girl bosses under 40. But, when the market's moving, you can't mince your words.
Correct.
She sounds like a pretty complicated existence for Allegra there.
Well, she lives in Naarm land, but she really wants to buy in North Melbourne or West Melbourne or, in fact, Port Melbourne. In fact, she might even have to settle in Docklands.
Well, you are right, because it is a high wire act, and you often see, people such as Allegra, take one little misstep and next thing, they're falling down beside all the officers hurtling towards the ground.
That's what I was thinking reading this. It must be easy to fall.
Well, Kanye West sang about it. It all falls down, and it will, eventually. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Stay consistent, Allegra. That's all we'll say to you from here in the Channel Country, from here on Mythica Land in Betoota.
Yeah, I think that's a nice quote to wrap it up on there, Clancy. Summed up well there with a Kanye West reference.
Yep.
And that's where we'll leave it for the year, really. I think that's the end.
This
the end
is
of
our
us
last weekly of the year, but we're definitely not going to come in between Christmas and New Year.
Well, yeah. Well, some of us will be.
That's what
plugging away.
Mate,
News never sleeps.
Mate, you talk to the fucking union about that, mate, because I'm not coming in.
All right, happy holidays, everyone. Bye-bye.
Happy Christmas, Wendell.
Good spot, Clancy. Well done.
Ciao.